You know, it's amazing technology. Those those Apple headphones that you can get, those white ones that come with all your iPods and iPod touches and iPhones and stuff like that. I think that it's amazing technology because they have those like little volume controls on the headphones, and they don't work with most other devices, but they do work with Apple devices. And I'm honestly confused about how that works at all because I thought that, excuse me, those headphones just sent information in one direction, like the band, and not in both directions, to the point where they can interact with each other from the headphones to the computer. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, like those little, those little white like headphones that they got, those really sleek looking ones. Everything Apple makes looks very sleek, very clean, and it shows dirt like a motherfucker. But that's not really the point because that's not what I was talking about in the first place. So don't try to make it about that. Don't try to make it about yourself like you always like to do, you selfish prick. And I think it's crazy that those headphones can like control the volume on the computer, especially considering that I thought that the information was only going one way. I thought it was a one-way thing, a one-way street, a one-way flow of information. I guess I was wrong. That's egg on my face. I look like a fool, but that's just kind of how I felt about it, and I just kind of had to get that out there. I thought that was amazing, and if you think, well, SparkleDart, you're kind of boring, let me tell you this: you're the one watching my show, right? So how can I be any more boring than the person who's watching a boring show? Is that does that make sense to you? Is that getting through to your head, your little noggin, your little brain stem or whatever it is that you got wiggling around in there? You know what's gross is the thought of like getting beheaded and then like the body still wiggling around and stuff, and it's just like, that's disgusting. Why does that happen exactly? I don't know. I saw this video of a snake that got skinned and gutted and beheaded. So the snake didn't have any internal organs, and it didn't have a head and nothing, and it was still like striking back in like snake attack position, like it was getting ready to attack the people who were preparing its body to be cooked and eaten on a fireplace. And I think it's amazing that a snake's body is able to do that without any sort of input from the brain. I assume that means that all of that is instinctual, not something that the snake does consciously, but it is instinctual for it to rear back and try to attack things that provoke it. Well, I guess you could make the argument, of course, that all animal behavior is instinctual, but obviously dogs, they exhibit some semblance of independence in the fact that they like to play. If you've ever seen a dog play, he likes to jump around and go bark bark, and then he runs after the ball and chases it and then brings it back to you, and then he doesn't drop it because he hasn't learned how to do that yet because he's still like a little puppy and he's not very smart. But you play with him anyways, and then you try to grab the ball out of his mouth, and he's like grrr, like a dog would do. You know how dogs go. You know what dogs do in their mouth? They go grrr, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. That's my point. That's the basic point that I'm trying to make. Is that dogs will growl at you when you do things that they don't like. But if you're going to be antagonizing your dog, you got to be okay with getting bit. Like they take those pit bulls away from their owners after they attack people. They go into people's yards and shoot their dogs, or just put them down or whatever when they report a dog attack. And for some reason, I guess that's okay for you to just do that. It's okay to sneak in someone else's yard and shoot their dog if the dog's been antagonizing people, and I don't think that that's okay. I think dogs, they are very dumb animals. They're not very smart people. They're not smart humans like you and me and baby G. That's short for Jesus, the G-man. Dogs just aren't as smart as us handsome tall fellas, and because of that, they get shot and they get put down, and I think that that's disgusting. They should have, instead of parents telling their children lies about how their dogs went to live on Uncle Grandpa's farm uptown or whatever it is that they like to lie to their children about, like Santa Claus and stuff like that. There should actually just be a large farm somewhere that you can put all your dogs in one big pen, and then they can run around going bark bark, and then they can have fun, laugh at each other, make all sorts of dog jokes. And it's just a big fun time for everybody, because then people can go there and visit the dog farm and feed them, give them sausages. They'll start going crazy for them sausages, like Gilbert Godfrey went crazy for the Aflax bacon. I don't know what the dog that goes bacon, you got bacon, fella. Hey, owner, master, you got bacon? Will you give me that bacon? I don't know who voices that dog, but that is an annoying commercial. And Gilbert Gottfried's got a very annoying voice. I would know. I just watched Aladdin recently, and he was the parrot. You know, you've seen it. So, you should all know what I'm talking about. Now, Gilbert Gottfried, he's an accomplished actor, comedian. I don't know if he's actually an actor, but I guess if you're a voice actor, it's similar to acting, right? That's what people say. They say that a good voice actor or a good actor would also make a good voice actor, because when you're voice acting, you have to emote a lot. You have to be able to emote and put yourself into the situation and feel what your character feels, and then you have to let everything kind of flow from there. Otherwise, it'll be very stilted, deadpan, not very interesting to listen to, and overall just a bad experience for everybody. Even you, even your friend Michael, who's in town from Tallahassee, and you wanted to show him your favorite TV show that he's never heard of before, and it turns out that it's an animated thing, or Beowulf or whatever, I don't know exactly, that epic poem, and I use epic in the factual term, not in the internet term, because epic is a disgusting word, and I would never use it in a way like that would suggest that I have that sort of those interests in like that internet shit that people don't like to associate themselves with, because it got so widespread that everybody's just like, oh, you say epic, I'll say epic too. Oh, you say I'll fire my lasers, I'll fire my lasers too. You like the mudkip, I like the mudkip too. We've got all this in common. We're both very internet savvy people, and I think that we have a lot in common. We should be friends. And then you're like, I don't really want to be friends with you. These are all things that I thought was funny like 10 years ago, and now it's 2016 and you're still laughing at them. I don't understand. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, to be quite honest. And then their feelings get really hurt, and they don't really know how to deal with that, so they start just hurting animals, because that's, I guess, how people like to deal with their problems, is to just hurt animals. They go to the zoo, they feed the animals like the signs say not to, and the animals like choke on French fries, because bears weren't designed to eat French fries, obviously, and they swallow them whole because that's just what bears do. Their teeth aren't very good for chewing, they're only good for tearing, unlike herbivores who like to ruminate, is that the word I'm looking for, is ruminate? They like to ruminate, and they like to go nom nom and chew on the grass. And then if you've ever looked at like a goat or something, he's always chewing on something. It looks like he's got grass in his mouth. He's eating grass because for whatever reason goats like to eat grass. My cat tried to eat grass one time and he wound up vomiting all over the floor, and that was what led me to believe that grass was poison. But then I found out only later that cats eat grass because they want to clear out, they thought they ate something gross and they want to throw up. They want to force themselves to throw up like a bulimic animal, to force out anything that they thought that might be poisonous to them, like maybe they ate some camel Turkish Royals, and they want to get that out of the body because it's really fucking with their internals. It's making their tummy go gargle, gargle, ow, this sucks. Why would I have to put up with this pain if I could just eat grass and make it go away? Now, that doesn't really work for humans, because humans are something called omnivores. That means that they're both herbivores and carnivores. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not a carnivore. And let me tell you this, buddy, right now. You are still an omnivore, and you still are capable of eating that meat. You just choose not to. For whatever reason, you think it's unsanitary. The animal was slaughtered in cold blood, and I don't want to have that blood on my hands. I feel guilty for consuming this sort of thing, and because of that, I'm just going to choose not to. That's just how it's going to have to be. I'm going to choose not to eat these things anymore, and if people eat them around me, I will let them know how I feel about the situation, because I am very unable to deal with the fact that other people might have different thoughts, opinions, beliefs, ideas, and values as me, and I think everybody should be more aware of me and the things that I like to do with my free time, which typically consists of complaining, because I'm a very miserable person. That's kind of what my point was. I don't like to be happy, and if other people are going to be happy around me, I want to find out why, and then I want to take that joy away from them, because I'm not happy, and if other people aren't happy around me, then I just don't want that for them, because like I said, I'm miserable. That's what it comes down to. It's just I'm miserable, and if they want to like go all happy, fun, loving sunshine mode, then that's fine, and I'm not going to get too upset about that. But if they want to do that, they can do that away from me somewhere else, where I don't have to see them being happy and cheering and stuff like that. Because if that's going to be the case, then I'm going to probably get real upset about that and tell them to leave or to change their belief values. Now, the problem here is that on the internet, people can see you and they feel close to you if they can see the things that you're typing in like real time, and they think that like you're some sort of legitimate part of their life when actually you're just some anonymous user on the internet from another country, maybe like Bosnia or Botswana or Trinidad or Tobago, which typically are considered to be the same place, more or less speaking. But they think that they can just tell you what to do because they can interact with you directly instead of indirectly, like they see pictures of you in books. It's not like that anymore. The world has changed, Busta, and the world has changed for, I would like to say the better, but I don't know if I can commit to agreeing with that. So, alright, well, I'll just have to take your word for it because I don't want to do any kicking. I'm not super big into kicking, so that's just something that you're gonna have to talk to me later about. I'm not super interested in that. Yeah. Anyways, just being miserable, being an unhappy human being, just have fun. Sit back, enjoy the sun. Maybe drink some hot cocoa. If you don't like hot cocoa, or if it's too warm outside to be drinking hot cocoa, then I guess cool it down and drink some, I don't know, Hershey syrup. Is that okay? Would you like that? Eat ice cream. Ice cream will make you happier, because if you're so miserable all the time, you have to do something to put a smile on your face. If you're gonna go ahead and eat ice cream at all, you should just get regular ice cream instead of that like froyo all almond dairy stuff, because honestly I think that people don't understand that part of the reason why you're fat isn't because you're eating fattening like whole ice cream. It's because you're eating ice cream in the first place. If you want to get rid of that aspect of your life, then what you have to wind up doing is what you have to wind up doing is getting rid of the sweets altogether. People like to eat sweets, and that's, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you're going to eat sweets and still complain, even if those sweets are like almond ice cream or whatever, because they've got almond milk and now they have almond ice cream, and you can buy that at the store, and it's like, it doesn't taste as good, but I will eat this anyways. If it doesn't taste as good, just don't eat it. That's what it comes down to, is just don't eat it. That's on you, Busta. It is your fault for putting on that tub if you decide to eat like ice cream substitute, because it's not that different than just not eating like regular ice cream. That's what I think. I do like cookies though, so keep eating cookies. Oreos, delicious. If you've ever had a cookie before, an Oreo cookie, then I've heard actually that they said that the part of your brain that is stimulated by like drug addiction, is also stimulated by like Oreo cookies, and you get all excited, and then you're like, oh, I can't eat just one, like Lay's potato chips, right? That's what they say. That's a slogan. I don't know. But what it comes down to is basically just Oreos are like crack, and when you say that Oreos are like crack, it's almost legitimate. It's almost a legitimate thing to say, because they do have the, I don't want to say addictive, because obviously Oreos don't mess with your state of mind, which is part of the reason why people do drugs in the first place, is to alter their state of mind. They think that they'll be happier or able to just kind of distance themselves from the world and enjoy the night and not have to worry about work on Monday or paying their car insurance or whatever. Nothing like that. Nothing coming to them like that. It's just not something that they want to concern themselves with, so they do drugs and then they get addicted to them, and that's kind of how it happens. So anyways, man, I've been a real downer this game. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching SparkleDart. Be sure to come back again soon. I'll try to be happy, but no guarantees. I can't make that promise. So thank you, goodbye, mwah.